Perry Regatta for the 2023-24 Perry Series. And line sight's very difficult. I'm behind the line, several boat lines. And I do see the Day1 radio towers up there at the top. They're kind of hazy at the top. So those would be kind of a 30-second safe. I don't know if you can see the radio towers on the top of the hill. I'm not lined up with them right now. I'm gonna drop back here. So definitely get your compass bearing down the line. Okay, head to wind. I'm gonna do a head to wind check. So going down the line, the compass bearing to the pin end from the orange flag was 115. Head to wind reading was 210, maybe 212. So we know that's not a 90-degree difference. 115 to 205 would be square line, even line, but we're higher than that. So I believe the committee boat ends favored. I think it's going to be very hard to get a start off. And the head to wind before this was somewhere around 205. So it's just recently just swung right as we get ready for race one. So you need to know those numbers from your compass. Bearing down the line on starboard, head to wind reading, and then you determine, is it a 90-degree difference? If it's not, then you got to figure out which. Less than a minute to go, race one. No current at all. We've done current checks at both ends, and the current is anything, it's going up the course. I mean, almost nothing. It did not seem boat favored. Okay, I'm going to check the line side. I'm looking at the radio towers at the top. I'm way off the line. Yeah, see the radio towers up there? So I'm way off the line here. You can look over here. You can see there's the orange flag. So I'm getting closer here. Okay. Yeah, so then we'll go with the U flag for the next race. Etchel's Billy Bennett Regatta going on over there. Coming up on race one. U flag is up. And having a line sight is not that hard considering you've got those radio towers up top there. So this is where you start a third of the way from an end, kind of in the middle-ish. And people will be off the line. And if you have a decent line sight, you just play it kind of safe. You could probably use something low lying over there on the shore. 30 seconds. Here's Kylie 0-0 right there looking back and forth. She's a third of the way from the committee boat end, which is a really good thing to do. Here we go, getting ready to start here. I don't see, oh, somebody just hit the committee boat. 9309 is Dylan C and Kate Jocelyn right at the boat end. There's no current, so that's not risky. Here we go, it's gonna happen. 2, 1, all clear. Wow, isn't that, this is a skilled fleet, man. Look at that. 55, Will Stratton. Just got second place at the Youth World Qualifier in 29ers. Was winning going in the last day. And came close, 3 or 4 points from going to Youth Worlds in Lake Garden. There we go. We are going to get a line sight here and see the actual line sight. I'm going to tell you when I'm on the line. When my bow's on the line. And I'm a little longer than a 420, but... Okay, so if you look down, okay, so if you look, I'm on the line right now. Okay, let me look, spin around. There's the committee boat end. And I am right on the line. If you look low level, that is the Coronado Cay's housing, the edge of it, the right edge of it. And it goes from being dark to light there, over. We're over right now. And then, so you should be doing this before every race, checking this, because after this race you come check it. And you see, if you look really low, you see the dark area, gray low there. I'm off the line here, and I'm getting close to the Tijuana towers up there. You see the radio towers at the top. I'm well off the line. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, probably over by a fraction right there. A couple better sailors out here. No, amazing 420 sailors is Anton and Wyatt. 9308. And where are they? They're out to the left in a southwest wind. The wind was about, I gotta think, 220 here. It was 230 on the Etches course. So there's 9308. 9561 is Vesper, doing quite well here on the left. And yeah, here we go. Let's just see who comes out here. 4 knots. 4.4 knots. It looks like the right wasn't too bad. It looked like it was pretty even. Harris and Strom, I think, coming around in 1, 2, 3, 4, just sailed a really amazing upwind leg. Oh no, that's 9308, so that's Anton. There is Harrison, 9305, coming around in a little bit. He looks like he's got maybe 2 more tacks to do. Kevin and Holland, 9307. Okay, the pole's forward. Yeah, they're just leaving the pole forward and the skipper's just kind of reaching. They're not squaring the pole very much. So I talked to the kids yesterday about when you're going upwind, take a look. No one's going to be able to see them from here. Try to take a look at the first lead boats and you'll see where their pole angles are and what angle they're sailing their boats. Are they reaching? These guys are reaching right now, and it might just because of a wind shift. I can't see the fluid marks right now. Okay, so look how all these kites look exactly the same. Forward, sheets, here's Anton and Wyatt. They did well, they worked out left, they kind of stepped up the left side with a couple tacks and did quite well. And then this is Harrison and Jonah. Don't pull the guy like that. Nope. I got to talk to him about that. You got to ease the pull and pull the sheet. Yeah. That's all right. We don't get much experience out here in these swells. Ferry Series is a mix of good sailors and then kind of some of the best in the country, and it can be a hit to your ego. But check out the little guys right here, 9006. It's a couple 12-year-olds, good Sabbath sailors that are just going ahead and starting right out in the 420. Look how good they're looking. They're probably in 24th place out of 37 right now. Great job. Look at them flying the kite there. Coach Wallace, skipper in that thing. Okay, that looks really good. Look at that, over-rotated and then just creeps it back around. That was an outstanding job. Wow, port tack is going to be hard because every time you get launched towards me, your spinnaker is going to collapse. Yep, right at the top of the swell. See how it gets soft and then it fills again. That's not too bad, but the swells are really a big apparent wind shifter, changes the apparent wind direction. It's really good to watch here. Because you're going to see Wyatt have to hike. Look at the swell, yeah. Yeah, so Wyatt has to hike, and then as you go over the top of the swell, you have to relax. He hikes, and then he just relaxes. Yeah. There he goes, hike, 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 hike. And then as soon as the swell lifts the boat up, he just relaxes his shoulders and doesn't let the boat heel to windward. It just heels to leeward a little. Yeah, relax. Okay, here he goes. Hike, 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 hike. Relax. There you go. So it's just, you got to get in a rhythm with the swells. That was outstanding. They've gone from 4th to 3rd. And we're going to film these guys upwind. No idea. This is the Borellis right here. This is they have their own personal set of sails. So they were the second women team at the 29er Youth World Qualifier in Long Beach a couple weeks ago. They were winning that regatta overall for a little while in these conditions. They love this stuff. Their savage training just makes you really good in this. The patience that the savage teaches you. You just love these trying slow swells that are messing with your mind. Okay, so that block doesn't look super close. Absolutely 2 block. The boom is pretty high. I would say Anton and Wyatt have their booms a little lower, so they're raked an inch back compared to these guys. How the Borellis keep the boat heeled to leeward just a fraction all the time, just a fraction. And so then they've got the jib pretty tight to fight any weather helm they might have. And you can't play the jib very much. And you see it's always locked in, 1-2 degrees of leeward heel, barely. This just helps, you know, they could probably sail a degree flatter, but they are winning this race by a country mile. These guys' leech telltales are stalled, so the leeches of the mains do have to be quite tight. They have more twist than these guys. Yeah. So they could just go a little flatter and pull the main a ½ inch tighter, and they'd even be probably better. But I'll tell you, they're flying. If anything, they've gained. Beautiful sight here. 2nd and 3rd are almost identical. I tell you, I don't see any big righties coming. Looking at those spinnakers out there, I see. If anything, I see lefties coming. Let's see here. Here's 9307 Kevin. He's in 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here's Harrison 9305. He's around the top 10 also. And those guys look very similar. Look at that, Holland just hiking off the floor or something, not even off the straps at all. And he's sitting way forward there. So you can see they're sitting forward, skipper, one leg in front of the traveler, crew right against the shroud. You gotta get the stern in these boats out of the water, because the stern's gonna be in the water no matter what. To make the waterline length longer, you want the stern just in the water. Look at that. You see how the swell affects the apparent wind? So every time the swell, here we go. Lift, lift, lift. Ready, ready, header right. Oh, she did that well. She's kind of anticipating. She kind of weasels it down at the top of the swell, and then she lets it climb back up. Yeah, and then they hike, and then watch the jib will luff as they get launched sideways a little. Oh, it did. There we go. And here comes Anton and Wyatt in 2nd. There's Kevin and Holland have gained. They were in 8th, and they're probably in 5th now, I think. It's hard to say. Okay. See that? For you younger sailors new to the boats, you've got your pole half set, the sheet's pre-cleated. They haven't even grabbed this. There you go. And then the skipper hands the sheet to the crew. The crew does not dive to leeward and grab the sheet. The guy was pre-cleated, so all they had to do was shotgun the pole out. Centerboard going up, halfway. Beautiful, look at that. See the main luff? Yeah, nice. That's just the swell launching the apparent wind forward as you launch. Okay, so Kevin's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's a gainer for him, 2 boats. There's Anton and Wyatt in second. Their spinnaker's probably not pre-cleated on the guy. Anton will probably pull the guy. Yeah, so Anton will pull. Oh no, they got it preset. There you go, shotgun set. Look at that. Yeah, Anton grabs the sheet, then he hands it to Wyatt. So they're second, third, fourth, fifth. Here comes Kevin, 9307 and 6th. And I think Fenton is in the top 15 right here. 9006 gained several boats on the run. They're light. That's a good thing about a 420. Start sailing them young, because if you're light, you can have really good. Last video for race 1, and you're gonna see the spinnaker stays full. It seems like everybody has to reach quite high downwind. You just can't go too low. Okay, so on the swell, ease the pull the sheet. As the boat slows down, you're gonna get a lift. So you're gonna be able to pull the guy back a little. Then as you surge towards Coronado, the sails are gonna luff. You gotta be changing the spinnaker. These are a couple of the best teams at it right here. I'm going to say the green spinnaker is a little more... See, I don't think they got the rhythm right. Anywho, last race, first race, last leg. After you finish, the first thing you do is come over to the race committee boat, and you come over here, and they have moved the race committee boat back a little bit. You've got 5 minutes. We're listening to the Etchells race committee. We got 5 minutes. And if you look at the pin end and look at the land behind it, we are no longer, our line sight was way back here. So now you know the pin end's been moved way up. See how it's no longer lined up with any radio towers or anything? They got the weather mark set at 230 degrees.
Distance 1.0. Repeat, this is course number.
Okay, U flag start. We've got to be coming up on 1 minute here. Now, I just did the math. I think the pin bearing is at least 150 down the line on starboard. And there's no way the wind's at 240. 240 would be square. So this pin is favored by a long way. You're gonna see all the good teams down there. It's at least 15 favored to the pin, at least. Remember, our line sight was way back over there, and the pin is way up over here now. Yep. There's Harrison, 9305. Southwestern sticking out a little. Might be Jeffrey, yeah, showing some guts there, Jeffrey. You flagging. Oh, 7637, yep, one of the better teams. See that? All the good teams are going to be down there. We're looking for, there's 9306, we're looking for 9308, we're looking for 145. So if you weren't checking your line sights or checking the line, you would be one of these boats at the wrong end. These boats are 15 or 20 seconds behind the boats already. Wow, just another beautiful start. Race 2, day 1. Yeah, that guy's gonna tack and cross everybody. Yeah. Okay, I don't see any of our team down here, so I'm very excited by that. That means we're being smart. Now, obviously, if a huge righty comes in, but I ain't seeing a huge righty. If anything, I'm seeing a small, tiny righty. But I think we've got several teams doing around the top 10. Kevin and Holland right in here on Port Tack going across 90. Kylie. They're doing pretty good. Looks like their jib is just too flat on the bottom a fraction. Although they got a lot of power. I think the last race she might have just been pointing a little too high in the light wind. Now that it's windier, she's feeling good. Yeah, you should just do height mode. Yeah, she's just pitching just a little bit. They just gotta lean on it and go straight. But they're having a better race. Got to let the main out an inch or two right there. You can't let it. So I'm going to write that down for her on those big heels. The reason why you heel is because when you get in the trough, you're not getting launched sideways. You're in the true wind. And so you get in the trough, the boat's going to heel. You got to ease the main a little. Okay, here we come to the weather mark in race 2. So yeah, when we get to this edge of the jetty, we'll get some real, I've had days here where it's been breaking here. Sailing keel boats out here at J-World Sailing School a few times, we would come out on the really monster days. And the waves right here on this side of the jetty from here to Point Loma, you'd have breakers. Okay, 7637 first, 9315. Okay, looks like the Borellis in 145 will come around in 4th or 5th. Nice, pretty good spinnaker set. Not a great one, no. 9315. No good sets. Bunch of people need to preset their spinnakers better. What you'll notice in these C420s is they'll sail a little extra heated for a little while just to get away from everything and not get down too low. So you'll see these lead teams will really reach quite a bit to start. It'll be interesting to see how the Borellis come out of this with the black and white kite there in the middle, because they rounded 5th and they've got a lot of boats right on their tail, a little above them. So we'll see how they do. Kevin and Holland in 2, 4, 6, 8, 9th actually. I'm not sure what happened to them. They were way better than 9th for a while. Okay, who else is in there? There's Anton and Wyatt in 12th. They had a 2nd the first race. There's August and Kylie right there in a top 20 again with that red and white kite. So great. They had a rough first race for some reason. It's like they just did not get wind for a while on the first beat, and then they were just gaining the whole right. Look at that. Look at that. August is just killing the spinnaker trim. Yes. Race 2, first run. That guy was leading by a long way. And wow, he is really going to that side. Look at these guys. I think these guys are closer to the mark. Okay, so this spinnaker trim looks great. Looks like the skipper's steering quite a bit. When they see the spinnaker luff, they turn down. It's almost like they're steering to the spinnaker instead of moving the spinnaker around. Here's the Borellis, who are probably still 5th or 6th because these guys are over here. Look at that. Yeah! Oh, that is beautiful. It'll be interesting. I think the Borellis are still in the same place. At least they got a really good lane. Okay, we'll see what happens here. This guy's just killing it. Oh, this is he is just killing it, man. Yeah. Oh, he's in a tight lane though. Look at that swell. So right here, I'm gonna get more wind and a lift. And then as I get launched forward here, you got a big header. Race 2, first gates. Yeah, see, this one's further upwind by quite a bit. This guy's got a 10-second lead. Yeah. Looks like 9311 wants the left one though, so this is just good for the Borellis. The Borellis are going to round third. And maybe 9008 here is going to round third. The green one's going to be right with the Borellis, maybe a fraction ahead. Nice takedown. Yeah, rounding fourth. Yeah, beauty. Love it. Size swell. Coming into the end of race 2. Oh, look at this swell. Looks like it's going to be a nice little reach here. The thing I've learned this weekend is the skipper does the jib a lot. Like the skipper even does the jib on the jibes. That's all you could do. You're just on the outside, no problem. A first and a fourth is a great way to start the regatta. And we'll get ready for race 3. The start line, and you'll see that we're into Tijuana. So the little town right there, white apartment condos, everything. So you'll see we're in there. There we go. Less than a minute to go for race 3. Oh, they moved the pin up more. Wow. Remember, line sight was on there, over there. Now, wow. So they moved it up more. It's interesting. I still don't think the win's at 2:35. Okay, so pin end's favored by a little. Oh, they're spent in 9006. First period got the Bull North Series winner for the 2nd year in a row in Soundings. And just getting into the Perry. Oh boy, 9514 is going to get U flag here if they don't have the General Rico. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. We're hitting some U flags this time. 76. 76. Oh, 55. That won the first race. You can see the mane is not loose. Oh, he just eats it. Oh, he just put a little bang on. But you'll see he lets it out in the puffs. And then pulls it back in. It's pretty flat mane. Look at that. Just cutting through the wind sharp. Pretty much perfectly flat now. Now you're going absolutely perfectly flat. There he goes. See how flat the manes are. Three boats that got U flagged on that start, and they did not need to put up the X flag. That's why I was confused. They don't need you to put up the X flag on a U start, because you can't go back and restart. You're disqualified immediately. And then usually they'll post the numbers at the weather mark, I think. This is Loki and Zach having a race here, dude. we did talk to a couple kids about how it's not going to be banging it out to the left side this race now. Now that we're into the day, 2:30, we're looking at building breeze and a forecast for a westerly. We start to protect the right and stop being, and if we do get kind of having to step up hard to the left, we kind of go a long way and pray. There's the mark right there. Ah, look at that. 9006, man. Guys weigh about, what does he weigh? 95 pounds, the skipper. The crew probably weighs 115. So they're like 205 and about 11 knots of wind, and they just crossed 3 or 4 people that have had top 10s today. They actually leap out a junior in high school. These guys are 6th graders. Look how good that looks. Just twisted off. Bottom of the main's flat with the bang. Anyway, how cool is that? Just mass twist. Race 3. And I think tomorrow's going to be very similar direction and strength of wind. And so you're going to notice the cruise. It's really hard to trap at times. You got to be able to transition from trapping to hiking really well. And then when you're trapping, you're staying quite high. And the reason that is because at the top of every swell, the boat's going to over flatten with your leverage on the trapeze wire. So it's not an easy day. They're not even trapping now. They're kind of bent knee trapping and hiking. It looks like the crew's thighs must be just getting fried today. See how the crew has to go way in. Oops. They out of the tack, they don't trap. And then as they get up to speed and get a little more power, they'll be able to go into trap mode maybe. But it looks like everybody's trapping on starboard and not trapping on port. So we just heard the wind went to 255 on the Etchells course. And we're about 10 degrees further left than them just because we're closer to Point Loma. So that we have a little Point Loma eddy going on. We have a little wind swinging around the end of the point. So our weather mark's probably 245. It's been about 10 degrees further left. Yeah, they're moving their Etchells mark to 255. We're at about 245. Here's Anton 9308. Again, it's just bent knee trapping and hiking. You can see the crews aren't able to really do anything. Watch how he lets the stern just go away from him as he heads the boat up. He just lets the stern just go away from him. Yep. Lets the tiller go, and it just kind of, the stern just swings. And we'll see what happens later, because he was one of 3 boats called over early. He was the only one of this pack. Theoretically, we should have some current up here going down the coast, but it's not that way today. It's pretty much a total slack current right here and at the start line. There you go. See what he does? He hoists and then he pulls both sheets about 2 feet. There's Harrison in 6th right there. Looks great. The pole height looks great. P6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here's 9006, Fenton and Steven. 2 A Fleet Sabbath sailors coming in here in the top 12. And Paige right next to him. Yeah, 9319 is Paige Tilson. And Kristen. They've had a pretty good day. I think they've been really good on the first upwinds. Oh, this is good news. Loki and Zach are having one of their better races here, 9310. And then here again, here's Vesper and Bella. And they're doing all right. This is probably Steven's like 5th day with the 420 and with the spinnaker up in his life. Look at that. Look at them, man. They weigh about 200 together. Okay, Borelli's not doing too bad here. Great, they salvaged that. And then there's Kevin, 9307, Loki and Zach, 9310, and then Kylie, 00. See how tight they trim the main. Look how far off 2-block they are. When they go on a reach like this and the spinnaker gets sheeted really tight, the main's like almost upwind trim. Someone was surprised I was saying that the other day, but gotta have upwind trim on these tight reaches. It's because the spinnakers are so hooked. Yep, see, main sails. Look at that. He was just 2-block for a second, the red, white, blue kite. He was just 2-block for a second, so it doesn't matter what we think, it's what the teams that are best in the country do. So that's what we got to learn what to do. We got to look at other teams, look how tight his main is. It's because the spinnaker is it's designed for running, it's not designed for reaching, really. So that was a 3rd for Anton, that was good. Here comes Harrison, he's had 2 good races out of 3. And then the best story is the blue and yellow kite there, man. They're lined up with the lured mark with no more jibes to do. They already did their jibe and they're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're in 11th and they have 2 boats that got U-flagged in front of them. So they're gonna get a top 10 this race. You don't really get top 10s in your first Perry very often. Very few people can say they got a top 10 in their first Perry regatta. But they might get passed here with that spinnaker trim. Yeah! That's a race for the ages right there. Yeah, 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 yeah! Less than a minute to go for race 4. We just heard they're gonna do a race 5. There's 9006. Look at that confidence, man. He just sailed with his main in and his jib out. He just sailed himself straight close haul. Got a little stalled out there. Oh boy, look at those guys. They are gonna cross. Look at that lead. That's going to be a 10, maybe not 10. It's not as favored. Yeah, it is. It's favored by as much as I thought. 3980 is at the boat. A little bit slow. And it's going to be, that's a 5-boat length pin in favor. Beautiful. God, this could be a long day. Here we go. Will and Cam. Couple A-Fleet Savage sailors. Looks like their jib is luffing at the top a lot. A lot sooner. So they just need windward sheet on. Actually, no, it actually looks like if they had windward sheet on right now, they'd be more stable. They'd have a little more power. But that looks pretty good, man. Watch the trend. You're going to notice it's going to be heel and then flat. That's all caused by the swells. The swells cause the speed of the boat to change. Isabella. That jib looks outstanding. It's got a bunch of good company over here. This guy won the Midwinter's East, 8914, 140 something boats. This guy right here is winning the Regatta, 7637. And they're not doing trapping at all, they're just hiking. They're just hiking. Vesper's doing great here. I think he's gonna round, I'm gonna guess 14th. Right here with Anton. Anton's probably top 4 in the Regatta right now. Maybe better, he has a second and a third. So he's probably better than that. She's just footing a little too much. God, that boat looks outstanding. Brand new sails, brand new boat. And you can sail with the big old wrinkles in the leading edge of the jib. The jib's it's fine. As the jib ages, you gotta use more jib Cunningham. Oh, there's Harrison, went hard right. Harrison's gonna round top 3, 4. 9305. Race 4, first windward. That was a good set. Okay, so that was a good set. I haven't seen a ton of good sets today. That was a good save on that one. Harrison around in 3rd. He and Jonah have had a good day. They have a throw out somewhere in there, but other than that, they've been pretty darn good around the top 10s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for Dylan, 14 for Kevin, and the Borellis right there. So around top 15 for the Borellis. They're averaging about 6th right now in the races, so they're top 2 or 3 in the Regatta. Top 4. Okay, this is Vesper, really good race in the top 20. Everybody's had good races today. Kind of hard to get video, but this is what I was talking about before. You see the leader of race 4s, see how high the crew is up and down, and that way they don't have to bend in and out over and over again, which makes, you know, you have to bend in and out, but you don't have to move as much. She's almost standing straight up at times. It's pretty remarkable, actually. I don't think I would be standing up quite as much as she is, but man, oh man, she is. And then this boat's in and out. This boat is actually hiking with one hand on the trap wire, so I see some teams do that. They just lean against the mast as the boat starts to heel. The biggest difference between the leaders and the back of the fleet is that the leaders are anticipating the heel that's caused by the swell. So when the swell passes you, somewhere soon after the swell passes you, you're gonna feel more wind. And you should get in a rhythm with it, and you should be leaning against that as soon as you can. Most teams are just so comfortable in hike mode and not in trap mode. They're keeping the mast stable. There they go. Yeah, see how that happens? The swell goes under you, you lose all the power, and then you heel again. So Steven needs to raise himself up higher so he doesn't have to come all the way in. I do think their hockey pucks are way too low. Their hand pucks. My God, there is more wind out here, you guys. He might have passed boats. A lot of twist on them. Cool. Yeah, this is a tight reach. Now the boats behind them might not see this, but they should see this. This is a really tight reach. He's going to be flogging the main here pretty soon. Wow, is this Kingston just having a day? Excellent. Great looking spinnaker. Yeah, see how he's flogging the main a little, feathering the main a lot? Okay, this guy's gonna be good on the reach. Watch this. Main tight. She's trimming it like a Genoa, like a big jib. She's not changing it very much at all. He's just steering, kind of like he steered to the jib. That's a tight reach. Okay, these guys look good. Yeah, look how tight the jibs have to be. Wow. I think the jib should be luffing a fraction to open the slot. Make sure the slot's not closed off too much. This is Harrison. He should be really good on a reach. Laser Sailor. So that's a great job by Harrison. 2, 4, 5, 6. Beating some really good teams. This team's a train above the lots. Last race, race 5. It's actually about 4:30 right now. So we're going to be getting in at 6. Long day. Keeps these kids off the streets, man. Keeps them busy. Keeps them off those computers. Look at that, 9561 Vesper and Isabella. So that's what I love about our fleet. 0-0. All these kids are still in our Sabbath team. Yeah, 9006 Sabbath team. The Sabbath is where you get good, man. The Sabbath is the best training boat. Naples Sabbath is the best training boat for a club Pig 420. Oh boy, someone's gonna get this guy might get it. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Look at Benton. Can you believe that? 12 years old and a U flag, man. Yeah, look at that. All clear, man. What a fleet. What a fleet.
Coaches, clear start. Clear start.
People that had some rough starts in there. Okay. Wow, that pinhead's favored. Last race, first windward. Again, when you're watching the videos, watch the spinnaker sets. I don't see a ton of really nice ones. Especially when there's waves, it's very important that you catch the first bump that you can. And that might make it so you catch the first wave and it's an area you can outdo people. There you go, isn't it beautiful? Wow, 9 knots. Everybody has their bones and things pretty much in the same spot. Some of these spinnakers look like they're flying higher. Like that white one kind of looks the best to me. The black one's really high. Fluid yellow one looks pretty high. 7637 had some sort of spinnaker problem, but he's happy in that lane. The jibs look like they have to be pretty dang tight. 6627 looks slightly looser than 7637. It looks like the jib has to be pretty hard. We have to start looking at how far inside the deck edge are we trimmed, and these guys look plenty forward. These teams train very hard. Skip's pretty darn smoked, yep. So we're about to wrap up the video, but I want you to see what it's like to sail with the swells hitting you from the side. Watch the mast as they rock. And the boat heels, and then it goes way flat, and then it heels. And so that's caused by the swell. Right now I'm about to go up with swell, so I get less wind right here. And then I get a puff as I drop down inside here. Puff, puff. Now I'm gonna get less wind because I'm getting launched towards Coronado right now. Okay, now I'm off the swell. So it's just something that makes Southern California sailors really good, learning how to find the balance between going too high and too low. A lot of people go too low when they get cross swell like this, and they end up just going backwards. And people get very frustrated. Anywho, coming up on we got round this windward mark, into the finish line, and we tow home. I don't know if you know, but I've been filming from down here most of these races, and the boats have been coming at me. I was a little bit over, but you're gonna see much earlier jive. So this is a late afternoon righty for sure. Yeah, these guys are gonna be driving earlier. Let's just look at spinnakers one more time. You see how solid they are? And what I learned today is that the skippers are steering to the spinnaker a little. They're not making the crew pull the thing all over the place. Although they are moving the guy in the sheet. The skipper's compensating. The skippers are good in the top of the speed, and the skippers are compensating. But I mean, if you look, the marks are way over there. One of the mistakes people made in race 4 is they jived onto port and they didn't need to. Starboard was almost making the marks. Very close. And but this, we're much more lifted, and you're going to see people jiving earlier. About to wrap up the day. 5 races. It is 5 o'clock right now. We're going to get in at 6. Long days. And then Mexico. Good view of Mexico on our end of day 1. 5:20 p.m.